When I opened my electricity bill, my heart skipped a beat. It showed an extra $6,000, charge labeled as Community Power Maintenance. I knew instantly it wasn't a mistake, but a deliberate move by our HOA, led by Karen, the smug president who loved bullying residents. When I confronted her, she leaned back in her chair and said with a smirk, "Pay up or we'll cut your power." What she didn't know was that I was an electrical engineer and, years ago, had purchased the local substation for my private projects. That substation powered the HOA's streetlights, gates, and even their office. I decided to play along. I offered to pay in coins, which they refused, meaning legally I still owed nothing. 2 nights later, I remotely accessed the substation's controls and shut down only the HOA's electricity, leaving every resident's home fully powered. By morning, Karen was pacing in the street, barking orders to contractors as they're meeting. Room sat sweltering in the heat without lights or AC. I sat on my porch with a coffee, watching her frustration boil over. For 2 full days, they scrambled, unable to operate their office or even run the fancy security gate. Finally, Karen knocked on my door, her tone a mix of anger and desperation. She begged me to restore power, and I told her I would, only if she permanently removed the $6,000 fee and signed a written exemption for me from all HOA utilities. She had no choice but to agree. That evening, their lights returned, but the neighborhood buzzed with whispers about how the mighty HOA had been brought to its knees. I thought it was over until a week later when I noticed a locked metal box installed next to the substation. They were trying to set up a separate power source to bypass me. I smiled because little did they know I already had the legal rights to the land it sat on. The war wasn't over, but round 1 was mine. If your HOA pulled something like this on you, would you go all the way to teach them a lesson or let it slide?